Ecom.
Go pending final steps to cabin link check. Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects. Triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues. Explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hello, good evening, true crimers. Welcome to Mysteries Beyond the Scenes. I'm your host, Joni Skinner. We are streaming live tonight, Wednesday, January 14th, the middle of winter on the R.I.F.T Nation Network. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Spotify. We please listen if you are a podcaster, you'd like to listen to podcasts during the day, go back and listen to some of our old shows on Spotify, Apple Radio, and Facebook. I think I said Facebook. How's everybody doing? We have a huge show tonight. Well, first of all, Mysteries is where astrology meets true crime. I'm a forensic astrologer where we combine astrology mapping from the astrology event chart with true crime, missing person cases, cold cases, and world events too. I do mundane astrology occasionally, but we're true crimers. So, and then out of the event chart, I do mapping. Of course, this is all taught by the great forensic astrologer from Australia, Kirsty McIntosh. She just came out with a new book. If you're interested in forensic astrology, this is the book for you, Kirsty McIntosh, my friend. She's the best in the world. It's a great book. There she is. Hi, Kirsty. She did this. This is a great book. I go travels with me, as you can kind of tell. It's in my bag at all times because I never know when, we might have a case come up or something. But it's always with me. It's a great book, excellent book. You can get it on Amazon. And she has a YouTube channel as well. So how is everybody? Did you have a great week? Did everybody have a great week? Hi, chat. What's going on? And I know my friend astrologer Miss Lois, who's also an astrologer, is watching while we are live now. Lois is going to keep us updated on what's going on overseas. So she's got that on live. We're going to see. It looks like the U.S. I don't want to make any predictions. So we'll let Lois tell us what's going on because we were both watching at the same time. So if we're in Iran, we'll keep our fingers crossed. So, and if you guys remember, I looked at that chart at one of our mini sessions. Lois or Cindy, Denise, anybody remembered that mini session? Because I remember looking at the flag. It had the lion on it. And we talked about this, that this was going to happen. What's happening in Iran? It's all over their chart. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for them. So let's take a look at the chat. Hello, Miss Lee, Miss Cindy, who is also with the R.I.F.T Nation Network on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Check out her show. I mean, she's the energy expert. We need energy experts this year more than ever. If your energy feels a little off or you need calming and energy information, check out Miss Cindy at Cindy Show. She's also an astrologer. The astrologers are coming in thick tonight. Hello. And there's Miss Lois, our reporter. Lois is going to be our reporter tonight, y'all. Hi, Miss Linda. How are you, hon? I hope all's going well. Oh, and Miss Tammy, no church tonight. Hi, everyone. Hi, hon. How are you, Miss Tammy? And Miss Denise, we got the astrologers coming in quick. Miss Denise, too. Mr. Odell, I don't see Mr. Odell, but I'm sure he's always listening. If he's not listening now, he'll watch later. That's our leader, the Aquarius. Chuckles for life. How are you, hon? Glad you're back, Lee. I know you're having a bad night. Oh, Lee, I hope you take care, hon. 2026 has not been nice so far for Lee. Oh, and this is the easy week. Crap. Uh-oh. This is the easy week, Miss Lee. I hope everything's all right for you, hon. I hope you guys are doing well. Love that book. Yeah, this book, the Kirsty's book is just, this is her method. And I have seen a lot of astrologers take Kirsty's method. I'm not kidding you guys. Kirsty's method is so accurate. And Ruru, I hope Ruru comes on because Ruru as well we all study. And I know Miss Chuckles does. We all study forensic astrology. And this is accurate. So why would you take it and try to tinker with it? I've seen astrologers do that with Kirsty's method, and you can't falter off of her method. Kirsty's an astrologer that is keep it simple. I'll see forensic astrology charts with so many symbols and so many planets and asteroids and everything on it. I'm like, how do you even know what's going on? Keep it simple, forensic. Hello, Miss Crystal, another one of our astrologers. Gosh, we got a ton of them in here. Linda's an astrologer. We got the astrologers. So I'm doing good. I'm doing very well. Thank you. You guys, and especially for the astrologers too, that look at charts. And when I pull up charts and you see something, and I know clairvoyants are in here as well, or you get clues or feelings, put it in the chat because we share. We share everything. Let's get. I got a lot going on tonight with the show, so we'll try to get through it all. If not, I'll bring it back next week. I know little Petro. I'll probably go through his case a little bit more. He's missing down in Florida, 87 years old. I'll show you his missing poster. We also had, as you all recall, oh, hello, Miss Michelle. How sweet. I'm so impressed with all of our astrologers coming in. Oh, thanks, hon. Your locks, they're purple. Oh, and Tammy says, I figured he and Keith might pop in. That's why I said hi. Ahead of the game. Tammy's ahead of the game. Oh, you have chicks, Tammy? Wait a minute. You gotta send us pictures next week. I got baby chicks hatching in the incubator. They're hatching. We have little baby chicks at Tammy's farm. How cute. We love little chicks. Well, you guys, if you all recall, we went over last week. Let's get started. I got a lot of stuff going on in here. Last week, if you all have noticed, true crime has just been I don't want to say exploding, but I mean, true crime has just been bam, bam, bam. But you know what? It's eclipse season. So, hello, Miss Ruru. I just showed this book. We're all talking about Kirsty's book, Best in the Country, isn't she, Rue? Rue is Kirsty's admin on the her Facebook page. So, I mean, you cannot go wrong with Kirsty's book. But let's get to the Tepe case. As you all recall, last week we had the beautiful couple, Mo and Spencer Tepe from Columbus, Ohio, who were brutally unalived. They were pow. We did not last week. We had a person of interest that was on the video, if y'all remember. And here is the chart where the purple arrow, we talked about them. There were two of them with the Libra rising, which was two or more victims. The perp was the Aries, which would be Mars. So we had Venus in the fourth house, Mars. So the perp, the Tepes, they were all in the house, which is the fourth house. And we knew that. But the clincher that stuck out was the relationship with Neptune, which would be videos, because we had already been given a video of a perp, person of interest, but we never really could see him. But the little thing that stuck out, and I circled it in black, was Mercury in the third house. Now, if you all remember, third house is, it can be, a third house is within the neighborhood. What's going on within the neighborhood? It can also be, it's really the house of communications, but it's neighborhood. It can be siblings, right? Mercury is a car. It's a vehicle. Mercury can also be a phone. But if you see it in the third house, it's more than likely a car in the neighborhood. It fits. And what's funny is it is so aspect to what? Neptune in the sixth house, which is a video. And I don't know if you remember, y'all. Remember I said the sixth house tells us that this is a stalker. This is somebody that has watched them. It's a stalker, sixth house, right? And we also knew that their wedding video had been seen the week prior to their unaliving, which was weird. But there was no entry, forced entry, which is still a mystery how he got in. But, you know, I found out, and I've heard this before with Sebastian Rogers' case, that a lot of the Ring cameras went out that night at certain times, or certain areas of Ring cameras were put offline. There are gizmos that you can buy they're not legal, but you can buy them on the internet that can either bypass one of these keypads or can get into these locks. So I wouldn't put it past the person that they caught. We don't, who knows? Maybe they opened the door. We don't know. So on January 10th, 4 days ago, the police arrested Mo's ex-husband, Michael McKee. He was in Rockford, Illinois. He is a vascular surgeon. Here is somebody that spent 15 years of their life in school, training. In school, 15 years of your life to become a surgeon, a vascular surgeon. And look what happened. Now, he was married to Mo in 2015. They had no children. They were married for 7 months. It was an uncontested divorce. They got divorced in 2017. That was it. So what would cause somebody in 2025 to do something like this? No one knows. But check this out, you guys. They found him on camera. Guess what? In a car in the neighborhood. And they followed that car for 400 miles on those cameras on the road, on the highway, up to Rockford, Illinois, and found the rental car was what the car that he used. They've also found some ballistics came back and matched apparently to a weapon he may have had. So the chart was spot on. It was the car in the neighborhood, so in other words, check cameras for cars. And that's what they did. But we didn't know that last week when we were looking at the chart. So I thought that was pretty amazing. It's still such a it's just such a tragic story. And, the guy has no record, zero record, brilliant person to be a surgeon. It's why was it because she was so happy? What happened? Just weird, very weird. We're going to keep an eye on that. I'm glad that in the neighborhood they found him. I had a feeling with 27 cameras in that area, they were looking at somebody. I just had what kudos to the police. What a great job. They arrested him in a Chick-fil-A. He was in a Chick-fil-A. Mr. just kicked back. Oh, I got away with it. I'm at Chick-fil-A. What? Dude. And they interviewed a couple of his neighbors, and one of the neighborhood ladies was like, he was so pleasant. She was shocked. Just bizarre. So that's the story. Again, Kirsty's method, spot on. I didn't map it. To see. I guess I could, but I didn't. I didn't map it. But that was the Ohio chart. There we go. Now wait till you see this one. Now, I don't know if you guys had heard about this missing persons case. It really took off. Ryan R.J. Davis was 12 years old. I always get this wrong. I think it's Chickasaw, but it's spelled Chickasaw, but it's Chickasaw, Oklahoma. Now, I don't know if you can see it because of the RNN thing up there. I'm going to try. I was going to try to move it. Let me see if I can move the RNN thing. I can't. But there's the map up there. It's it's close to Texas, in western Oklahoma. Okay. So there is little Chickasaw, Oklahoma. Okay. Here's RJ's story. Little RJ, there he is, RJ's story. And he has been found, which is just excellent, excellent news. There he is. There's little RJ. Ryan R.J. Davis Okay. He was last seen on January 2nd at the intersection of 4th and Grand Avenue near the Quality Inn. Okay. Here, I got a picture of the Quality. Okay. There's the Quality Inn in Chickasha, Oklahoma. And you're saying, why would he be at a hotel? Well, on the property that he lived with his mother and his stepfather, which is about 10 miles away, they had no running water. He was homeschooled. Every Friday, okay, you're now, and I know Tammy, especially Tammy, because Tammy's a PI. Every Friday, they would go to this hotel and they would stay in the same room, saying, well, there was no running water. We would go there once a week and get cleaned up, and they would stay in the same room. Okay, that was a red flag. But because there was no water in the home. Okay. So let's see a picture. And there's the property. There he is smiling again, homeschooled. I think homeschooling is great. I think you do whatever you want to do with your children. That's up to you. You educate them. That's entirely up to parents. But just from what I see a lot of in the true crime genre, we get a lot of schools that call in to do wellness checks on children. I see more alleged abuse that occurs with homeschooled children. And I think there needs to be where the children need to come into the school once a month, something, and meet. I don't know. They could do something. I just see a lot of it with homeschooled children. Okay, so what happened is she got on social media and the internet and was crying for him to come back, and he had run away. Had anybody seen him? He was last seen at 11:30 at night, and they woke up and he was not at the hotel. So they issued an endangered missing advisory on January 6th. Okay. So then OSB, which is Oklahoma State Bureau of OSBI, Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, joined the case. Okay. So what happened is RJ ran away. This was not RJ's first time running away. He ran away in December. He ran away in November. Every time he was put back into the home. Now, his great aunt made the statement that she knew there was alleged abuse occurring in the home. She couldn't say anything because it would either turn on her, or she was elderly, she was a great aunt. Okay. So RJ continued to run away. So RJ was still missing, but then on January the 7th, these two, stepdad and mom, are arrested January 7th for child abuse, conspiracy, crimes against nature. Those are not good crimes. And abuse as well. And the police said it was not a safe environment for him. This is a horrific case so far for everybody involved. And the police and at the pressers, they were absolutely shaken up. So the judge set a $2 million bond. Stepfather, they were not allowed to have, in conditions if the bond was met, was not allowed to be around animals, if that gives you an idea of crimes against nature. Okay. So we don't know how that was, we haven't seen any of the other information, but needless to say, little RJ has allegedly not had a good life whatsoever. And no wonder, thank God he ran away, right? So what a cute child, right? So mom and dad are under lock, or stepdad and mom are under lock and key with a $2 million bond, and little RJ is still missing, right? Let's see, what else do I have in my notes? That's about it. Okay. So guess who comes into town? And the town showed up. This town showed up for this little boy. And here we go. Now this is where the family lived, in this area, on this, in this land out. It was very desolate, okay, with horses and a trailer with no running water with this child. So guess who comes in to help with search and rescue? You know, if my two Peace River Canine Search and Rescue down in Florida with Michael and everybody associated with Peace River is just, I adore them. I love them. I really like United Cajun Navy too. I mean, I don't know anybody from there, but what wonderful people. I have seen them. Tammy, I don't know if you worked with United Cajun Navy when you were doing search and rescue in Texas from the flood. United Cajun Navy showed up in North Carolina as well. These people are just angels. So they showed up, and on January 11th, guess who found little RJ? United Cajun Navy. And there they are, heroes. They found little RJ. And they said he came out and basically gave himself up. He put his hands up and he told him he was sorry, for seeing that people were trying to find him. And he just, what a cute kid, right? Just a cute boy. So he said something about wanting a pizza, but he knew about survival training. So he knew how to get food and water. So this is who found him. Oh, crap, what'd I do? Okay, let me fix this real quick. This is okay. So they found him in cement, which you can see Chickasaw is a little bit far northeast, and they found him near his family properties in cement. So, I'm not sure if he had a ride or if, he walked down there. No one knows. Yes, he is alive, Tammy. He did run away. Tammy said, yay, Michael showed up. And Tammy met them at the flood. So, they found him in cement. Now, the police have come out and said he will never, ever go back to that home. Well, let's hope they never, ever, ever get out of jail. Let's hope they never move out of a jail cell. Allegedly. These are alleged crimes. You guys know that. In our country, I mean, you're innocent until proven guilty. If somebody horribly did this to this child, they never should see the light of day. So let's take a look. Wait till y'all see this chart. I mean, this is a very happy ending. I think they will get him the good help that he deserves and needs. But there they are, United Cajun Navy. There they are again. And of course, we can't forget. We cannot forget our friends at Peace River Canine Search and Rescue. And of course, my little favorite, Splash. There's little Splash. Okay, here we go. They stopped the live. There were more China planes seen entering the airspace. Okay, just to update y'all, airspace has been closed in Iran, and 2 Chinese planes were up in the airspace, but they are passenger planes. So I don't know if they're still passenger planes or not, Lois. That's weird. There's our friends at Peace River. So we've got our Earth Angels at Peace River too. We've had Michael on a couple of times just to talk to us about search and rescue and all that other good stuff. But he's got to bring Splash on. We've got to. I know he's busy with Little Splash though. Little Splash is a star now. So let's take a look now. I'm gonna be pretty careful with this chart, but I looked up all of this on Kirsty's information. So I'm reading from my notes. However, when we look for what was going on with RJ, allegedly going on with RJ, which is the SA, right? And that's what the abuse, it will show up in the 5th house. The 5th house is the house where that 5th house is number 1 is children, right? But also the 5th house is where that kind of activity would be. So anytime, and look at our 5th house right there on this event chart. I circled it. So whenever you see the 5th house, your red flags go up with certain. Usually it could be, you know what? But in another event chart, it could be somebody that was at a party that went missing. It could be somebody who was at a bar. It would be that kind of an atmosphere. But it's also children. And it's also that type of activity. So RJ is Virgo rising. So the ruler of Virgo is Mercury. Mercury is in the 4th house, which is in the home, right? So things maybe occurred at the home, something tied to the home, don't know. He's in the home. Now remember, the moon is always the co-ruler. That's the 9th house. He's up there. And I went around the wheel. So then the perps, I'll tell you about the 9th house in a sec. The perps are Pisces. So they are Neptune. What's funny is the perps are located in the 7th house, which is very, very strong when you see the perp, because the ruler of the 7th house is Neptune. The perps are in the 7th house, which makes it very, very strong. Okay. So let's kind of take a look at this chart. We're going to go around it. Now I used, and I'm going to bring in something new. Well, I'll do that at the end. But if you see, you're going to see them in the chart and you're going to go, what's that? Okay. Yeah. Crystal says the 5th house is lit up like a Christmas tree. Yeah, unfortunately. And Tammy says, I found out that there are 2 Cajun. Yeah, there are 2. There's Cajun Navy, and then there's United Cajun Navy. United is the one that goes to, was that Texas? Yeah, there are 2. There are 2 groups. One is United and one is just plain Cajun. So Mercury in the 4th house is a victim. Now, as you can tell, he's right at what we call the IC, or the end of the matter, perhaps at the house. It's aspecting Neptune. I'm not going to be surprised. Now, we know Neptune is the perps, but Neptune is also videotaping. If there are films of this, whatever, maybe things that occurred, you might find some things on film or on a camera or on a phone. Okay. Pictures. In the 7th house, right? Home environment. Let's see. Things could be hidden relating to home environment. And they could be related to perps. So that's what the chart, when I looked it up. And usually it's a return to the home. This is where the victim may end up back at the home. Well, guess what? He was back at the home. He was close to the home. when you look at this chart, immediately you know he's still alive. I knew he was still alive. There's nothing in this chart that would show me foul play as an unaliving chart. I mean, for that's a great blessing. So that's what Kirsty's book said. The victim could return home. Now, also, when you say to return home, it could be that big home, unaliving home, return home. Kirsty's book said associated victim or even the offender's home. So her book is just, I mean, it nails every case I pick up, right? So we're going to look at the fifth house. Now, what's funny, the fifth house is like one of the most positive houses in the zodiac wheel. It's sports. It's places we enjoy. It's things we love. It's creativity. It's love life. It's children. It's the house of joy. Kirsty explains it as the darkest manifestations of the fifth house. So that can mean risky behavior, crimes involving children. Go figure, crimes involving children, allegedly. So this is the fifth house, and look at that. We've got Venus, which is a female. We've got Mars, and then we've got the sun, which is, they're both together. So that's a male. So we've got an older male and a female, and Mars can show that there could have been danger. This was a dangerous area, dangerous situation. It could have been very dangerous. And they're all aspecting, look at that, in the seventh house, Neptune. Okay. So let's see. Male dominance, aggression, and risky behavior is what Mars displays in the fifth house. I mean, it just reads it like a book. Now, moving up to the sixth house, this is interesting. We have Pluto. Danger in everyday life. Trace through camera footage, surveillance, unhealthy interest. Straight out of the book. Sixth house, Pluto in the sixth house. Danger in everyday life. Trace anything through camera footage, surveillance, unhealthy interest. So then we look at the seventh house. The seventh house ruler, which is Neptune, in that house, which is the perps, showed they had a very strong and clear intent. The victim knew the perp. Saturn in that house represents an older perp, a father-type figure, cold and calculating. Neptune shows us hidden dangers, couldn't be drugs, alcohol, or, of course, camera footage, video. So then we move up to, this chart blew me away because the chart, I took this out of her book. Ninth house, we had the moon, which represents him. And we also have Uranus, which is shocking, something shocking. It could mean that someone was abducted, unexpected, and shocking. Now, it aspects Pluto. Okay. So we have an aspect. Yeah, we had an aspect to Pluto, which represents, again, Pluto, sex, violence, much in secrecy. Okay. And then the moon, we've got him up there and aspecting all of that. Okay. So then we're going to move to, can you believe this? It just blew me away. So we've got Jupiter up in the 11th house, can show internet and an influence with groups. Idealistic violence could be possible. So we've got internet. So internet, social, and internet influence and groups. So it's groups. So there may be other people involved with this situation with him. I don't know. We haven't really gotten any details. This, when I looked at this chart and kind of did I left it really up to, because of the subject, and it was just kind of so sad. Because I really didn't know all this was going on when I first started looking at it. But the whole fact of the matter is, Kirsty's book, and I read it. I wrote down out of the book in my notes. I mean, I know fifth house is not a really good house to have when you have children involved. And it, like Crystal says, it's lit up and it is. It's just lit up. But just to get that information just from Kirsty's workbook and how it matches identically to this case is mind-boggling. It really shouldn't be. I do this every week. I mean, I don't know. It never, let me be honest, it never ceases to freaking amaze me. Kirsty's method in forensic astrology, it never ceases to amaze me. But that's his, I wanted to show you guys something because I have done this before in charts, and let me get my notes. Okay. Crap. I'm not very organized today. Here I am. Okay, here I go. So I looked up asteroids on this particular chart because there are two asteroids. And I don't use them that often. You guys know I use algol because of neck and throat. And I like to use algol. I use sheet with water accidents, or if someone could be missing, could be in water. So I used Dejan. Okay, I'm going to probably pronounce it wrong. Dejanari. Oh crap. Dejanari. I don't know how to pronounce it. Dejanari is the asteroid that designates a victim. Okay. Dejan is the victim. She's in the second house. Interesting. Nessus, guess where Nessus is? Look up in this, guess what? Seventh house conjunct Saturn. Nessus is the perpetrator, which is conjunct to Saturn, which could indicate an older perpetrator. So in the second house, Dejan could be the victim. It could also be a victim that overcomes everything too. I mean, there's other meanings for this asteroid, but it's usually victim of that kind of a crime. Second house is money. So we're going to let's let this play out and see if the asteroids have the match with that in any way. Who knows? We're going to have to wait and see. So I thought that was interesting to pull up those asteroids just to kind of see if they fell in the chart and where they fell and if they are associated with that in any way, because that's the kind of crime that these are related to. And I can't ever, it's Dejanira. Wait a minute. Dejanira. Dejan, I don't know. Dijon Mustard. I don't know. I pronounce names wrong all the time, but she's the victim. Okay. Second house. Let's watch this case and we're going to see what happens with this and see about the money and stuff like that. How's that? So that's his case. Does anybody have anything else they want to add for little RJ? I mean, thank God he was found. It's just poor RJ. It must have been going on for years. So glad. Yes. So glad he kept running. Here's the thing I would ask in the community. Why was he left back into the home? And I realized they want to return children back into a home. I get it. But don't you think a home needs water? Don't you think you would have some kind of visits or something? If he's run away 2 or 3 times, back to back to back to back. Hello, isn't that a red flag? I think the community should question that big time. I agree, Cindy. Thank God he was found. I hope they take good care of him. I hope they take good care of that little one. And his great aunt seemed like a just wonderful, wonderful person. So maybe she could get custody. She had filed a restraining order prior to their arrest with the stepdad and the mother. So maybe she had talked. I don't know. Don't know. So this is a case. I wanted you guys to get a call. I'm going to post Petro's missing poster on. I'll put it on my Facebook page, and I'll also put it in R.I.F.T Nation Network's page. If everybody would just take a couple of minutes tomorrow and share little Petro's missing poster. I will do this case next week. We'll do his chart, and I'll do a slideshow for him. But his little case, just to get the word to start to circulate a little bit about him. Petro's 87 years old. He recently immigrated here from Greece. He's got dementia, so he moved here to be with family. And he was last seen on December the 12th, leaving his residence around 9 in the morning. And there he is on camera. He has been diagnosed with dementia and was last seen wearing gray pajama type shirt. He does not speak English and did not take his cell phone money or ID with him. Now, he was last seen on camera, okay, walking. So maybe if we can start sharing this on Facebook and just start to get maybe somebody could see him a little bit. So I'll do his chart and we'll do the mapping next week. Crystal says, I have so many friends in that area, so they will see it when I thank you. And if anybody, and also Crystal, on your post, if you don't mind, if anybody's on that Oak Trail West area around his address, will you have them check their Ring cameras? Check cameras. That's the only footage that they have found. So I know, Tammy, I know, Florida, yeah. They were sleeping, and he usually would take a walk, and he had his Apple tag in his wallet, so they had a tag on him, so they knew where to find him. They knew where to find him. So, but he didn't do it that morning. God love him, and they get out. He apparently got confused, or maybe he can't speak English, and maybe he was taken to a facility, or who knows? Maybe we can just keep our fingers crossed that he'll be found. Oh, here you go. They need Mike. I know they need Mike. They've got a search and rescue crews. I don't think Mike's doing it, but thank you, Crystal. But if we can all just, and I've got a lot of friends that are down in Florida too. So we'll get this poster out, and we're going to share it all over just to get his poster out. His family is just, as you can imagine, with dementia, it's just hard. It's tough to take care of them, let alone, and they do escape. They escape, and they're quick at it. They can get out. And I remember too with Mom a lot, they would get their nights and days mixed up. She'd be up all night long. I could hear her, and I'm like, I gotta work. I gotta get up for work. Banging around, and then they sleep all day. And then they get up in the middle of the night. They get that night, whatever it's called. They get their night. What's it called? I forget. Sundowners or something. Sundown syndrome or something. They get everything mixed up. Lois, I have friends in Tranquility Bay Beach House Resort and Marathon. That'd be great, Lois. Yeah, everybody. And I will post this up in the morning on my Facebook in Marathon. And Crystal's from that area. Can you send me the poster to share as well? Absolutely, Miss Tammy. I'll put it out. I'll put it on Rift and I'll put it on my my feed. But yeah, we'll get it out and everybody will just start sharing it. And it, maybe somebody can find little Petro on their camera. Wouldn't that be great? Maybe a dash cam, even a Tesla, anything to try to find where he may have wandered off. And to see the area, wait till you all see this case next week. It's a real mystery because to see the area, it's like, where could he have gone? He shuffled. He was not very stable on his feet. And wait till you see the map where in the area where he was walking, and it's a mystery. It's like, where could you have gone? But you just never know with them. I know they can surprise you especially with that dementia. They can surprise you, especially getting up in all times of the night. God love them. And I think, he came here to be with his family. It's a sad, precious little thing. Does anybody else have anything to say in the chat? I kind of blew through those pretty quick, but they went fast, didn't they, y'all? And I'll have his case next week. And I'm also working on a case for our friends in Chicago. This is another mystery. Up in Chicago, we have a teacher that is a special needs teacher. She went missing as well. And her husband is out just, begging for her, for people to find her and for her to come home. Now, we've got footage of her that I'm going to bring and put up. But, that's another one. The school's looking for her. And so we've got a missing person in Chicago. And then we've got little Petro in Florida. So we'll cover them next week. Oh, Tammy's excited. 3 cases. I know it. And Tammy, we've already got the 2 for next week. So if another case pops in and during the week, we'll have 3. I know it. I mean, it's the true crime has been nonstop. For true crimers that are out there, it has been one right after the other. And again, we're headed to eclipse season again, where a lot of missing are found and a lot of cold cases are solved. So keep an eye out for cold cases. But we'll do those. I know, Tammy. So I've got 2 on the line for next week. So if it like another case like RJ or somebody pops in, I put them in too, because those are good to have. And I didn't know and if you think about a lot of these cases, I'm working on them before they're even found. So like RJ, I was like thinking, okay, try to find him, and then they get found, which is beautiful. So that's the good news. That was a good story for the week. So here we go. Start with a Chick-fil-A. I bet he was looking for a coffee or something to eat. God love him. Yeah, he very well could be. Very well could be. Everybody goes to Chick-fil-A, I'm telling you. Here we go. Miss Donna says, Petro has not been picked up on any other camera. Wrought iron fence to the north and east of the apartment complex and Jersey barriers along US 19. It's a mystery. And there's a gated community to the west. It's a huge mystery, y'all. Wait till you see the map and how it goes around. It's like, where would he have gone? Yeah. Wrought iron fence to the north and the east, and Jersey barriers, and it's along US 19, Crystal, for you that are familiar with the area. It's a huge mystery, and a gated community to the west. So where did he go? Mystery. We got a mystery, friends. We'll do that case next week, and I'll chart it. We'll map it too. Great info. Thanks for sharing and keeping us updated. No problem, Miss Denise. You all stay warm to our friends up in Canada. It's getting cold down here again, too. Yuck. I'm done with winter. I want the heat. I want the Florida heat. So y'all have a great week. Don't forget, it's weird energy. So stay grounded, stay focused, keep your vibes up, and we'll get through all that energy. But the cold weather, no. Keep the cold. I love my friends in Canada, but I don't want cold weather. Florida people, send it up. Blow the Florida weather up here. We need it. You too, Miss Linda. Miss Linda, thanks. Have a nice week. Everybody stay grounded this week. It's going to be a busy week. And then the following week, next week, it's going to be a busy week too, astrologically. We'll stay focused. So you're welcome, Miss Lee. I hope everything's going okay, hon. You're welcome, Miss Lois. So everybody have a great week. Stay warm if you're in the cold, and I'm mad at you if you're in the warm. Don't forget Miss Cindy's show on Monday nights on Energy. It's a great show on the Rift, and all the other shows on the Rift as well. So you guys have a super week, and thank you all for tuning in as usual, allowing me to do what I love to do. And I'm so glad you tuned in. So thank you, everybody. Have a great week. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.